Hello everyone, welcome to Peach on Earth Tarot. Today I'm going to be doing a reading for Cancer for the month of April. You can have Cancer anywhere in your chart, you can be a cross watcher. All that I ask is that if you're here watching this reading, you come with good intentions for yourself and for others. Okay, Cancer, when I was getting into your energy, I have been being called to get songs this month, and so your song is For a Dancer by Jackson Browne. And so to me, when I was listening to the song, I was noticing it was kind of like about cycles, like the cycle of life, and even like, like when we lose one person, we gain another. And he's even talking in like a worldly sense, like when this earth is no longer, like maybe it's like our souls move on to like another like better earth, and it's like ascension kind of, because to me the cycle of life is kind of ascension, like because I believe in past lives and reincarnation and stuff. And so it's almost like, you learn your lessons in this life and then you pass on, and the next time you're reborn you have all those lessons that you've learned, and you get to kind of utilize those lessons learned, even though we have no memory of it, but you get to utilize them and carry them forward and like create another more like promising life. I don't like saying that, but it's just, you know what I mean? Like you just ascend and you grow and whatnot. Okay. So I was getting the cycles really strongly. I'm going to start with the archetype cards for you guys. Okay, so let's go ahead and get one or two archetype cards for Cancer, please. One or two archetype cards for Cancer, please. One or two archetype cards, please. One or two. Okay, I think that's two, but I'm not sure. Yeah, okay. So we have Gossip and Avenger. Okay, you know what's weird is like these two people kind of look similar to me. Like they have the kind of like black mullet. Hang on, let me. Do you see that? It's like kind of like this black mullet that they have. But this one has like a shadow over it, or it's like moonlight almost, like where it's nighttime. It's a shadow cast over it. Now that's interesting. And like here, if you see this one, it's like it has this yellow behind him that looks like it's like a sun color, and then back here is the darkness, and that's like the night. But he's in the light right now. So I really feel like this is shadow and this is light. So the shadow attribute of the Gossip is thrives on the power of passing on private or secret information, betraying confidences. And then the light attribute of the Avenger, desire to balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. This is like an ascension, right? It's a cycle where I feel like this is something that maybe you have had to overcome in this life, where you wanted to be kind of gossipy and now it's like it doesn't take an actual death to ascend, okay? It's like metaphorical. Like the song was talking about, like, someone actually dying, but it's not really how it plays out in life. Like we can ascend multiple times through each of our lifetimes. You don't have to die in order to ascend. But it's like, I feel like you've come a long way in a sense that it's like there's something where it's like you could have been a bit gossipy, and now you're wanting to, instead of like using people's secrets against them, you want to kind of like use it to empower them. Balance the scales of justice, righteousness on behalf of society or oneself. Like you're taking people's confidences much more seriously. And maybe it was like you were betrayed at some point, and so you kind of understood like what was happening. So yeah, I just feel like this is just two different aspects like of your ascension pattern. Like this is where you were and this is where you are or are going. Like you've learned some kind of lesson. Okay. Hang on a second. Okay, I think I'm going to start with the Osho Zen Tarot. Okay. So what is the message for Cancer, please, for April? Cancer, April, please. What's the message for... Okay, you have the King of Clouds. And it says control on it. And if you look closely, like to me, this almost looks like someone like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a crane or, you know, any heavy construction equipment. They sit inside and they have like controls like this, and it looks like that to me. Like there's someone sitting in this structure and they have their hands on the controls and it says control. And I honestly feel like you're trying to control yourself. You're trying to, because this is like where you were and this is where you want to be. So you're trying to find some form of control in like the words you speak and the actions you take. Okay, let's keep going. What else for Cancer? Oh yes, look at this. So it's transformation. That's the death card. Like that's the number of the death card usually, 13. And so that's the like the death process that I was talking about earlier, or the cycles. That's the death process where it's like something has to die in order for something better to be reborn. And that's kind of what's happening, is like you're trying to, I really honestly feel like you're trying to transform who you are. Like you don't want to be someone who betrays people anymore. And I'm not saying you were like betraying everyone all the time. It was like just you maybe struggled with keeping secrets, okay? But now you're really trying to maybe even avenge the people that you betrayed in the past. I'm hearing because like maybe you having like loose lips cause something to happen, like something that, you know, to that person that, you know, confided in you or whatever. And so now you want to like avenge them. But not only avenge them, but avenge yourself. Like you just want to be a better person. Okay. What else for Cancer, please? What else for Cancer? Okay, so it's interesting because We Are the World is on the bottom. We are the world. Okay, so two more cards came out. You have the Four of Wands, which is participation. Look at this. It looks like they're on like a Ouija board. Or they're doing some kind of like seance, but they don't even look human. They're like, I don't know. Red, yellow, blue, green. That's root, solar plexus, heart, and throat. So maybe your lower chakras are needing some work. It's almost like you might have an idea and you need to kind of like ground it. Like you're going through the transformation, but it's kind of like it needs to be grounded right now. Okay. Well, and we have the Two of Swords, schizophrenia on the bottom. What's on? We are the world. I don't know how this plays in because it's like, it's, to me, this card is like almost like you feel torn between things. But also, you know how I'm talking about that ascension, right? Like something must die in order for something else to be reborn. I feel like if you look, the clouds are down here at the bottom. So these structures are very, very, very tall. Okay. They are above the clouds. And I feel like it's almost like that ascension where you come up and you go back down. I'm doing it this way because this is red and this is green. So it's almost like, well, no, because green is like the green light. You go and you come back down, but it's like there's something stopping. But we want it to go this way. You want to be able to, you come up and you go back down. But something is making you cling to the past, but it's like, I think it's just fear, because if he lets his feet off of this, if you look, if he lets his feet off of this, he'll go here, and he'll probably slide down, like regaining the control to come back up is going to be, next to impossible. But I think it's the sliding back down that's what's needed here. You actually need to, it's like you've ascended, right? And that's why your lower chakras are being kind of pointed out here. You've ascended, and that's like a cerebral thing. That's like a up in the clouds type of energy. And you have to ground it back down now. And in order to do that, you have to kind of like let go and come back down to earth. You have to bring it back down and ground it down. I don't know. What do I want to clarify with? Yeah, let's clarify with the Gilded Reverie, Lenormand Expanded Edition. Let's look at, I want to look at the schizophrenia first. This is Two of Swords for Cancer. Okay, so we have the bear. And it's interesting, on the bottom is the death card, or the coffin, or whatever it's called. The bear. I am power and strength, health and protection. Your finance is my field, your food is my concern. My bad side comes out when you see negative cards around. The polar bear is fitting symbol of the indomitable dignity signified by this card, whether it be read as an authority figure, a protective mother, or purely as strength. Hang on. The color is symbolic of the pure spirit it embodies. That's kind of how I'm taking it, is like, I think that you have a really, really strong call to the purity aspect, right? Because it has this Avenger here on this side. And in order to actually avenge anyone, in order to actually come down on the right side, you have to participate. You have to, it's like stand up for the little guy. You have to stand up for the little guy. In order to do that, you have to not just think that this is what you want, but you actually have to act it out in your everyday life. Okay, let's look at the control. What's this control for Cancer? Let's clarify control, please. Clarify control for Cancer, please. I have one card for control. This King of Swords. Yeah, and that's a lot of like cerebral energy too. And maybe in the past you were using this gossip stuff to like kind of control your environment and like who could go where and do what because you had access to the information. And I don't know, it was like, but anyway, let's just clarify. Let's clarify the King of Swords here. And I'm hearing like be cutting with your words. Can we clarify the King of Swords, please? Can I have one card for the King of Swords? Nothing's wanting to come out, guys. Can I have one card for the King of Swords, please? Oh my gosh. This is so interesting because the birds came out and the birds represents gossip. But what's interesting is on the bottom is you have the dog, and that's like represents loyalty. Now, there could have been someone that was loyal to you and thought you were loyal to them, but it was like it was like just a manipulation. Now, everything can be vice versa, okay? You could be the one that had trust in someone else, blah, blah, blah. But, and there's no shame, okay? Like, I'm not trying to shame anyone by saying these things. It's just like, we are all who we are. And we're all here to grow and learn and do what we're supposed to be doing, right? But it feels like you were trying to control a situation by using gossip. But then I think somehow either you got burned or the person that you like betrayed their confidences got burned. And then you felt like personally responsible because you divulged the information that got them burned. Okay? Because it's like the loyalty was there. They trusted you and confided in you. You could be, I keep getting the sense that you could have been like their superior at work as well, or just their superior in general. Okay, so let's look at transformation. What's this transformation for Cancer? Can I have one card for transformation, please? For Cancer. Okay, so 2 came out, so I'm actually going to use it as transformation and the participation. So transformation, you have the lilies, which, hang on. Calm, peace, and serenity is what I preach. Your parents and elders show up under my symbol. I bring wisdom and experience. I signify a long-term relationship or ancestry. Contentment and satisfaction is my angle. Yeah, so you could have gone through like some kind of like spiritual awakening, because if you look at this card, it is highly spiritual, and because this can represent our ancestors and stuff, I feel like it's almost like maybe you went through like some kind of spiritual awakening and started having access to like your ancestors and your guides and stuff like that. That's what it feels like. Okay, in participation, you have the clock. Or time, it's called time, sorry. My appearance brings time to the forefront of importance. I may be approaching or passing, so be attentive. Use me wisely to provide perspective. Look around me to better understand my involvement. Certain cards may slow me down, but sometimes a quick action will get you the crown. this is weird. I'm hearing 410 because this 4 here and then this breaks down to 10, and I'm hearing like April 10th. I don't know what that means, but I honestly feel like the participation of your transformation like is never ending. You have to always constantly work on it. And then eventually it will be, it's like you have to be really, really conscious about it. You have to be conscious about grounding down this more positive aspect, right? The transformation you want. You have to really be intentional about grounding it down. And the more you do that, the more you take it, like, not take it seriously, but the more you participate, right? The easier it will get. Like, you'll learn to let go of this other aspect and not be so scared of like bringing it down, bringing it into reality. I'm seeing a lot of green and purple. And to me, it's like, so green is like the heart chakra, and then the purple is like the third eye. And I feel like that's kind of like allowing your heart to open up to like the more like spiritual needs of yourself in the world. I don't know. Let's get some advice for you guys. I'm going to use the chakra reading cards to get some advice for you. Can I have 1 or 2 cards for advice for Cancer for April, please? Advice for Cancer for April. Okay, so you have listening. And it's so, I really feel like that's kind of where you are right now, is like you're kind of like in this transformation process where you're figuring things out. You're starting to get messages. You're starting to listen to your messages. I'll read the card from the book for you. "24 is your throat chakra," which is interesting because it's like, it says listening, and it's it's the last step in the throat chakra in the book here. And so I feel like it's that whole like taking your messages that you're getting spiritually, right? You're taking it and you're putting it back out into the world. Okay. You have drawn this card today to let you know it's time to take note and listen. Messages and guidance come in many forms, and you are being asked to stop for a moment and listen to the wisdom that is coming your way. You may have asked for a sign or some guidance recently. The answer will be revealed if you listen carefully. The most profound guidance comes from within, and it's time to start listening and trusting your own soul. Take some time to meditate and explore the silence in order to hear the powerful words of divine guidance coming from within you. Your angels and guides are also sharing their thoughts with you at this time. Answers may also come via songs, other people's conversations, or some other external source sharing this wisdom with you. Listen carefully to what is being presented to you at this time. This card can also suggest that you are not listening deep enough at present. It could be that someone is sharing how they feel or their perception of a situation, and you have not been listening with an open heart. That's this, right? It's like you're listening, but you're not like, they're confiding in you, but you're not taking it seriously, and you just like think that it doesn't matter and you can share it with whoever. But that's changing. Okay. Which may be causing miscommunication, challenges, and conflict. People will always have different perceptions and experiences, and it's important to allow both sides of the story to be heard and expressed. When we can understand this and not take people's expressions personally, we can be open to a world of unconditional love and communicate more from a place of love and understanding. Listen deeper in the silence, and your answers will be revealed in divine timing. Now, it's so interesting. So, it's like the listening is the last step of the throat chakra. So, it's almost like you already know how to speak. You already know how to, speak your mind, share your words, and all that stuff. But maybe you didn't know how to listen so much. And so now you're really being called to find that ascension. It's like you're going from being able to speak to being able to listen. That's the ascension that you're kind of on here. So it needs to be grounded down, and you need to utilize it in your life. You need to, that's kind of how you can avenge people, is like by listening. Not just to them, but also to the universe and to your guides. You'll find a lot more answers than you think you will. From, like they said, you can find it everywhere, from your guides to songs to the people in your life to whoever. Okay, so that is your advice right now, Cancer, is to really, really listen to what the universe and the world around you is trying to tell you. Okay, all right, so Cancer, this has been your reading. I hope it was helpful. If it was, you can like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you soon. Bye.